Good afternoon. I am Dan of Whiskey and Gunsmoke, and I figured it's been a little couple of weeks since kalashbash, and I forgot a very big thing. While we were there, both me and Logan, I decided to bring some Israeli bandages with me and give them away. Like, no strings attached. All you had to do was like, follow, subscribe us. And I thought that was a pretty good deal. But I gave away 100 Izzy bandages to people at kalashbash. You had to be at kalashbash to get them. It was going to be cat tourniquets, but I didn't have the stock for it. I had the stock for Izzy's, so I decided on Izzy's. During that weekend, I talked to a bunch of guys and said I was going to do some videos, so I'm holding to my word, and I said I was going to do a couple of short videos on using these. One thing, this is cool. These are cool. Those are easy. These are hard. A lot of people don't want to do hard things, and I think these are where your money needs to be put towards. Shooting fast, being cool, being proficient with firearms is a huge part of this pie, but what I think is even huger is medical equipment. The great thing, see if you can see it, look at there. A lot of these pieces of equipment actually come with directions on it, so you pull it out of the bag, you've got it right there, you can see what you need to do and go forward. The problem is, a lot of times adrenaline gets dumped into your stream. Fine motor skills, a lot of things go out the window, and you just resort to whatever skills you've mastered at that point. So I gave away 100 of these. If you have one and that's your only one, go out and buy one. Now you've got one to practice with. If I gave you one and you have one and you have not opened it and practiced with it yet, what are you waiting for? But if you actually look at the back of it, it's got a nice little instruction pad. And it tells you step by step what to do. Now, I will say, go get training, go get competent training, and there's a lot of good places out there that teach medical courses, even at as simple as the Blue Cross, like CPR classes, things like that. That's very, very important. But something like a CLS class or a TCCC, if you can find a TCCC class, those are really great classes. One of the best ones by far that I think encompasses everything when it comes down into medical in a weekend, 2 days, is the immediate action medical class put on by Tactical Response. That is probably one of the best one-all classes for when it comes to medical. There might be more that, you know, take 2 to 5 days or 1 a days or something like that, but that one for 2 days is by far the best. You will get the most out of it. But like I said, the great thing is they got little bitty instructions on the back. So I'm gonna do a couple of short little videos on how to use these. See y'all. Okay, first video is going to be on the Izzy bandage. If you actually look right there, plain and simple step instructions. They made this Army and Marine proof, if that tells you anything. And this one is and they also have, like, what I say, expiration dates on them. As long as it's in the bag, it's probably still pretty good. I would still use it. It's just one of those things you're supposed to, you know, if you have a huge stock of them, replace them after a certain amount of time. But I don't see any problem using them. If I had to use them, I'd use them. But you rip the bag, and look at there, you got a little nice little sealed bag. The great thing is, if you need to, you can set the bag with the instructions down in front of you so you can actually see what you're doing. And also, look at there. It says other side to wound. So it gives you a little bit more instruction through. I said, if you're not using these things, get that little bit of practice. One thing, clean up behind yourself. Don't leave trash everywhere. That's just bad manners. Like I said, other side to wound. So when you open this thing up, there's a lot of what looks like, oh, there's a little string there. Get out there. There's a lot of this extra material. You'll actually see this is your basically this is where you want to go up against your wound. So I'm going to step back a little bit so you can kind of see. Actually, let me do this. Let's just tilt down a little bit. I'm not going to take my pants off. So what you want to do is you want to put this on the outside of your wound, wherever it's going. You're going to wrap this side around, pull it through. If you look, there's a little bit of a like a plastic band there. You set that down. I like to do one band around, then turn it and go back the other way. You want to kind of keep as much material out as well. That way you're getting the most amount of surface area. And you're just going to keep wrapping this thing over and over and over again. And once you do, there's actually like a little clip on the back side. I'll show it to you once I pull it off. And that allows it to basically lock in. Now, you can kind of step back and see, I got a nice little tourniquet, or not a tourniquet, but a izzy bandage over wherever that wound may be. I'll pull it off again. And the best thing you can actually do is if you got a friend, work with them. Sit down with them, say, hey, let's practice this. This is something we can do on each other. You can kind of talk through it, and you can actually get good at this. Because doing it under stress is not fun. It's not fun if you have to do anything medical at any period. But if you look at this side, it's got these two little bitty tabs right here. That allows it, once you fully wrapped it and got it tight, is to lock it on both sides here and actually keep it retained so you don't have to hold it. You can actually start moving on to other items of concern when it comes to the patient. Like I said, this is the important stuff that goes to the wound. This is mainly for packing and blood loss, keeping blood loss down. The next video is going to be on the tourniquet. Sorry about that. I just had a phone call in the midst of this right when I was doing this. So you ain't going to see the an opening of it. There's the plastic. But the great thing is, if you get one in plastic, you'll get a little instruction booklet like this that actually shows you step by step on the proper procedures to use this. Like I said, don't take this as gospel. Go get training. Now that we've got the tourniquet out of the bag, we're going to simulate just an arm use for this item. So the best thing for me personally, if I get one straight out of the bag, I go ahead and set it up from one for my arm and one for my leg, depending on. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up, slide it up. I can move it all the way up and down my arm. I don't have big arms, but if you got a friend that has bigger arms than you, do it to that size. That way you know you can do whatever arm you have. So what I like to do is go ahead. We're gonna say the wound is here in the arm. I got shot, whatever. And now I've got a lot of blood loss. I need to cut circulation off from this arm so I don't lose blood, which is bad. You don't want to do that. So you always want to go above, like I've got it about, say, 4 or 5 inches above the wound. You want to go ahead and pull it tight here, yank it down. I can already feel it's a little tight. That way, when you start cranking on this piece right here, this is what actually tightens it up. You actually tighten it up and it'll start hurting. Once it starts hurting, you're getting close. Once you feel like that's a little bit much, like right now, this is getting to that yes daddy phase. That's when you want to not go no further. And then you want to actually put it like this, so the actual wind piece is actually captured. Now blood, there is no, let me see, no, I've got no pulse. This actually cuts off any blood flow to the extremities or wherever you're at. That way, if there is a substantial amount of blood loss, you will actually stop it from continuing to bleed, which could save somebody's life. And don't believe this. A lot of people will tell you don't put a tourniquet on anything because you're going to end up losing that arm. No, it's not like that anymore. That is bad information. If you got a tourniquet and you've got to use it, you've got to use it. And trust me, if you gave me a tourniquet and they cut my arm off afterward, but I'm alive, I'm probably going to thank you. Simple as that. But yeah, those are not hard items to use, but actually using them correctly and actually being able to stop and think of what you're doing before you do it is a very big important piece of this pie. Like I said, this is really cool. That's a really cool smiley face. Gotta pull this off. But this is a really cool item. You can shoot fast, you can go fast with it. You know, like Ricky Bobby says, go fast. This you gotta go slow. I think this is harder, and I think a lot of people are missing out on this. So hopefully these two short little videos, I know they're 3 minutes long. Sorry they're so long. I can't do this in like 60 seconds. I could show a demonstration in less than 60 seconds, but actually talking it through, no, it's not gonna happen. Y'all stay safe and go get training. Bye. Hello again. You saw the cat tourniquet. You saw the Izzy bandage. One item I think is very overlooked, and there's a lot of people that put a lot of hate on it, but I'm personally a big fan of it, is this piece of kit. This is a rat tourniquet. This is an older rat tourniquet. This thing is like, I got this, I think I got this in North Carolina when rat tourniquet still was very, very small. Not a lot of people knew about them. There was a little shop outside Fort Bragg, and I kind of was looking around and I saw some Kyle Lamb DVDs. So I was like, I've got nothing to do for a few days, so I'm gonna grab one of those. Beside it was some tourniquets, and I was like, what the hell is, what's a rat tourniquet? I looked at it, I was like, man, that's kind of interesting, because being around any medical field, a lot of times when you're actually giving blood or they're taking blood, they actually use like some kind of surgical tubing to actually cut circulation off at that spot. So what they did was create this. It's got a little loop right here that stays, and then these little claws are here to actually capture. I think this is probably one of the best and easiest tourniquets to do. There you go. That simple. That was 10 seconds. The great thing about it is it really locks in there. You can kind of see it right there. It pinches in this piece of aluminum. It's probably time to replace this thing because I've sat on it a lot. But yeah, this thing is pretty unique, and I really like it. The biggest thing is, look at the size of this thing, how much room you've actually got. Now here's the thing, a lot of people say this is better than this because this gives a better pressure. I agree 100%, this gives a better pressure. Look at the size difference. See it? Now this is all kind of loosey-goosey. I'm gonna kind of ball this up like I would carry it in my back pocket, which I do. This stays with me at all times. Now it stays like this big versus this big. Fits in my pocket. You can actually run it through your belt loops and then hook it. Yeah, you can actually just hook it on here like so, and that's why it's always around your waist. That way, no matter what, you can grab, pull, and it comes out. But I like it just in my back pocket. It's simple enough. But for me, my wife works at a animal shelter, so there's pets, dogs, cats. This won't actually work on a cat or dog. That will. I have a little girl. This won't work on her. She's got too skinny of arms. If you've ever seen like Ugandese or Iraqis, a lot of times, like I'm an average built guy. I'm not over muscular and I'm not super skinny. Their arms are like this big around. Some of them are malnutrition to the max, but something like this won't actually work on them because they've got too skinny of an arm. You've got nothing to work with. Something like this, you can actually torque it down and actually get a little bit better. So just because one thing's better, which I agree, this is a better tourniquet, doesn't work all the time. And size wise, I can't always carry something this big, which is not that big. I actually carry it in my uniform every day. I actually carry one of these in one of my pockets because I've got the extra room. In blue jeans, shorts, no, I don't have the extra room. I just toss it out in my back pocket, and it's pretty easy. So I hope y'all enjoying these short little videos, and y'all have a good day.